It's 4 a.m., yet many of these veterans have already been at Midway Airport an hour.
Okay, we got a wheelchair in the back.
Not one of the 79 vets lucky enough to snag a seat on this flight wants to miss a minute of this day.
Did you get your boarding pass, right?
It may be their last chance to see the monument built in their honor.
They say Bunker Hill.
This is a group used to order, standing in lines, waiting their turn, and hardship.
And we will find you your guardian. We'll get you hooked up.
For every 2 vets, there's a guardian. Sons, daughters, friends, making dreams come true.
All right, great.
The youngest today is 83. The eldest, 94.
You must be Mr. Miller.
About half will use wheelchairs.
Sheldon, good morning, sir.
Welcome to Honor Flight. We're glad you're with us today.
I'd like to welcome you to our nation's capital.
They arrive in D.C. to the first of the day's surprises. The feet that marched 1,000 miles through the battle-scarred fields of Europe and splashed onto the bullet-riddled beaches of Normandy and the South Pacific are marching in one final military campaign. Honor Flight volunteers spread the word at Dulles. Heroes arriving in the Southwest Airlines terminal. Grateful strangers greeting veterans again on the march.
My name is Nicholas Zaglifa, and I served in the Battle of the Bulge.
With a steady rain, strong wind, and temperatures in the 30s, it was a downright miserable day for viewing the memorial. Not one veteran complained.
But all the gold stars represent the people lost.
Oh, that's so much. It's unbelievable.
Certainly not Nick Zaglifa, who had endured far worse in one of World War II's most brutal encounters.
We were given orders to dig in, but the ground was frozen. And I had a carbine, and that was frozen.
It was the Battle of Bastogne, 4 days before Christmas, 1944. Zaglifa's company was surrounded by an overwhelming German panzer division.
I just laid in the snow, I don't know for how many hours. And when I got up, why, everybody was gone except for the ones that were dead.
How many did you lose?
I would say out of my company, I came home with 50 out of 150.
The monument helps Zaglifa cope with the painful memories he has carried every day of his adult life.
I think it's the most beautiful thing that I've seen, to build this thing for us soldiers. I think the organization that put this thing it's just unbelievable. The volunteers and so many wonderful people.
The people of Honor Flight Chicago.
There is an urgency to get as many World War II veterans to this site as possible. They are dying at a rate of 1,000 a day. In fact, less than 10% of those who served in the war are still alive.
It's a very short window of 3 to 5 years to get all of our World War II vets to Washington. Our oldest vet that's flown with us so far is 98. The youngest is 80, but some of the guys at 80 or 82 are frail, and time is marching on.
Honor Flight Chicago depends entirely on donations. Evanston businessman Steve Wilson picked up the tab for much of today's flight. Neither his father nor father-in-law lived to see the memorial completed.
This generation of men and women, and we have 2 women on this trip today, fought and sacrificed to provide opportunity for people like you and me to succeed in life.
We are gathered today to honor the heroes that stand beside us, and to honor and remember those that will never see their World War II memorial.
Old soldiers and sailors gather in the cold rain to remember their service and those they left behind.
My name is George Miller. I retired as a lieutenant colonel of the U.S. Air Force.
At 94, retired Lieutenant Colonel George Miller is the oldest veteran to make this trip. He came with his daughter, Ellen.
I feel honored to be here, let alone they claim it's an honor for us to be participating, but I feel deeply that this is a great honor for me to come and see this wonderful memorial.
My name is Theodore Peters. I served in World War II in the United States Marine Corps, and I served in the South Pacific during World War II.
Theodore Peters, one of the first black Marines to serve in the war.
I don't say it was a pleasure, but I was there, and they treated us pretty rough, but we came through.
Norman Lastman was a young seaman aboard the USS Bunker Hill when it was struck by a Japanese kamikaze in May 1945.
We were filling up with smoke. The ship was filling up with water lying on its side. And after, I don't know the length of time, many people died.
It was America's worst suicide attack until September 11, 2001.
Right. Good to have you. Good to see you. Thank you.
As they prepared for the trip home, little did they know the best was yet to come.
Jerome Taylor.
Mail call. It was a recreation of the most anticipated and appreciated time of war. A break from battle. A touch of home.
Can you handle all that?
Oh my God! It's a lot of mail.
Letters written by spouses, children, grandchildren, scouts, and school groups. A thick packet of mail for each and every vet.
Dear George, what an exciting day in your life. You're one of our bravest who served their country with honor.
I never got this much mail when I was in the service.
Some kept the contents to themselves. Their only reaction, a single tear. Norman Lastman couldn't wait to share the letter he got from his grandson, David, in Florida.
I have learned so much about life from you, and there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about a lesson you taught me as a kid, or a story you told me, or advice you had given me. I love you, Papa. You are the best. Love, David. If you weren't here, I'd start crying.
They're saluting you guys. Oh, they're saluting you. They're saluting you.
They walked and rolled off the plane with no visible signs of their long day of travel. Heads held high, spines straight, and extended salutes. The Chicago Fire Department's Pipes and Drums Unit, an honor guard, men and women in uniform, and a sea of well-wishers rolled out the red, white, and blue carpet.
This is absolutely the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I just can't believe it. I never knew I was a hero. I don't believe it.
And isn't that what heroes have in common? They never intended to be heroes. They simply had a job to do. And now, almost 65 years later, Honor Flight Chicago is thanking them for all of us.